Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, or Rachakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us His truth. And a sincere peace and salutations to all the Aki and pushing His word and truth and in all sincerity. This is Brother Ganon from DC Church coming back at you with another video. And Lord, well, this is going to be a quick one, just a quick update. Something going down in the DMV today in the DC area. This is on X, trending 911 page, saying breaking news: there was a bomb threat in the University of Virginia today. Um, Evacuations was issued out of the University of Virginia 4 hours ago. BWI, which is not far from me, um, is among several airports where ground stop is in effect, meaning they basically on lockdown. It was a shutdown. 3 hours ago, all traffic at all three major Washington D.C. area airports have been halted after strong chemical odor and detected at Potomac Tricon Air Traffic Control Center. So basically, there was a fear for a terrorist attack, a T attack, Salakia. You're supposed to speak in code, but it is what it is. Just going based off of what the news has been talking about, and this is after a couple of days where they was scared of a drone attack over there in LA. So whether this is a staged or in-house plot, or this is actually going down, this is big news and epic into the prophecy that we're looking for concerning the M to the T to the O to the B. I went and asked Chat GBT. The question was, can an attack against the U.S. have an impact on the economy? And this is the response. It says a major attack on the U.S. can significantly impact the economy. Market volatility, stock markets can plummet, and investors' confidence may drop. Disruption of critical infrastructure, damage to key infrastructures like ports or financial centers can can um, can have far-reaching effects. Increased security spending, government response, and recovery efforts can divert funds from other priorities. Consumer and business impact, fear and uncertainty can lead to reduced spending and investing. Um, for example, they used when the 9/11 attacks led to significant economic downturn and changes in security policy. Um, and yeah, just going back to that time in the early 2000s, where eventually, I think they were saying in 2008, that was one of the worst times for the economy. Now, if we have another time like that, which the economy is already terrible, is worse than what it was in 2008. What it is now is much worse. So if we was to have an attack, which they're warning, they're sending mad warnings, and they basically shut down all the airports in the DMV. You know, I think Dulles got shut down over there in Virginia, BWI down here in Baltimore. Um, all three major airports in DC was all shut down. So one way or another, if there was a T attack on these soils, then that can easily go into a huge gut shot to the economy, which it could shut it all down, in which they will have to reboot it with the M to the T to the O to the B, and that's that final prophecy that we'd be looking for. And again, same thing with what's going on in LA. So any one of these things, man, rather it's in house, rather this is really happening, or rather it's not, this is something that we need to be looking at and reporting, to the flock, because that means our salvation can come near. Our salvation can be near, but what manner of person are you to be in these times, man? You're supposed to be locked in. Romans 12 and 1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, And the mercies is him giving us this knowledge again. You know, us being brought back to our Lord, so that we have an opportunity, to get ourselves right in these times. It says, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's where you have to be, man. You have to be transformed, man. You have to be locked into prophecy, step by step. Understanding that the times and the seasons that we're in, it could be over, man. This can be a wrap, so we got to be locked in. And it's no coincidence that it's happening during the Passover season, the time that we're in. It's no coincidence that all of this stuff is going down right now. So we're in beautiful times. And you got people completely scared, man. People are completely scared. Like the American citizens, because they never seen things like this happen here. I believe the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, is shut down right now. You know, so this is very convenient that things are going down. They basically leaving the air traffic control. I think they said that they had like a strong smell, odor, which can be super dangerous. So they that's why they shut down the the planes. But whatever the case may be, man, everything is happening, step by step. They shut down the DHS. There's threats, imminent threats, of T attacks that's happening. So yeah, man, prophecies is going through. Prophecies is getting down, and we don't want to be caught with our pants hanging down. You know, you don't want to be conformed to this world. Worried about sacrificing all your time for work. Worried about sacrificing all your time for your women. Worried about sacrificing all your times for your fleshly pleasures, man. You know, you gotta sacrifice your time for this truth, man. You gotta make sure when it's time to be at camp, you gotta be at camp, man. Ain't no, oh, I'm gonna take this week off of camp because I want to go do X, Y, and Z. That's bullshit. You know, are you truly examining the times and the seasons? You know, like it says in First Thessalonians 5:4, it says, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." Let us watch and be sober. We got the light to see, man. You know, we're not covered by darkness, where we just got feel our way through the atmosphere, man. We can see exactly what's going on. You know, that's why when we seen this, it was a few of us. I put it in the chat, then followed by the officer, the Quan Shire. They immediately put the same thing in the chat. Because we know that's something that, hey, you want to ring that alarm, man. A so-called T attack, going on in the DMV. We right here in the neck of our enemies, man. We right here next to the capital of the USA. So if stuff going on down here, that's something that can pop things off, which is a very exciting time. But we know with that exciting time, things, your regular life, your day-to-day life can get tough just like that, man. So brothers got to lock in and be prepared for that. Be ready for that, man. Because wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of your time. You should have the understanding of what's going on right now. And we're very close of all of this shit going down, man. Something really, really crazy can go down real soon, and all your plans stop, man. You may be planning to go on vacation, go fly somewhere. All of that shit may not happen, man. All of that shit may not happen because of the state that we're in right now. All of that to go with the war going down in Iran. You know, All of this stuff can go down, man. It could be a hot summer, man. A hot summer, or even colder winter later on in the year. So this is the time to lock down, lock in, and focus on what's going on, man. So yeah, man, just ringing that alarm. T attacks threatened across the U.S. That's something to watch for, man. Prophecy is clicking. You know, so yeah, brothers, man, keep watching. Keep the faith. And hold on. Until the next video, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rachakudash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us His truth. And a sincere peace and salutation to the Aki and pushing His word and truth and in our sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect.